Hello there, and welcome to this special Foster Care Institute training webinar. Foster Parent Recruitment, creating a strong recruitment program for strong families. This is the final training webinar in a series of webinars geared towards and focusing upon recruitment of new foster parents for those foster care agencies. If you have not watched the previous webinars in this series, then I encourage you to stop watching this webinar now and go back and watch those webinars before you continue forth with this one. I am your host, Dr. John DeGarmo, the director and founder of the Foster Care Institute. I also serve as an international speaker, consultant, and trainer for foster care agencies and child welfare programs the world over, and have written several foster parenting books. Indeed, my family and I have been blessed. My wife and I have been very, very blessed to have 60 plus children come through our home for well over a decade, almost 2 decades now, as foster parents, adoptive parents, and biological parents. But in truth, each child is considered part of our family forever. You have created a mission and vision for your recruitment program. You have a clear understanding of your needs assessment. Strong partnerships have been made with your local media. You have reached out and formed positive working relationships with your local faith-based organizations, civic groups, and school systems. You have worked hard on creating awareness in your community and local businesses. Now, it is time to ensure that your new foster care training sessions are the success you want them to be and the success they deserve to be. Some general reminders to keep in mind as you host your new foster parent training sessions. Send out reminder notes and phone calls a week before your first training session. Make sure your meeting is at a location that is acceptable to all. If your agency is difficult to get to, perhaps consider having your training session at a central location, such as a public library, a school, a church, or some other location where all can travel to easily. You do not want to turn away good future foster parents because your agency is a difficult one to get to. Ensure that there is parking provided for all who wish to attend, and the handicap parking is also available as well. For your new foster parent training sessions, you want to make sure that there's child care available for those new foster parents who have children of their own. And let them know beforehand, let everyone know beforehand that you will have this child care available for them. With this in mind, do not have the training sessions last for hours on end. Instead, respect the time of those who attend and keep your training sessions limited to the shortest time you possibly can while still providing valuable and insightful information, valuable and insightful content, and keep it enjoyable while doing so. Your new foster parents will need to be fingerprinted and at some point during the training session and licensing process. This might be difficult for some due to travel and time constraints. Perhaps you can make it easier for them by providing free fingerprinting at your training session. Indeed, do this as soon as possible so you're able to decrease any unnecessary and lengthy wait time. This will go a long way towards helping your new foster parents and for creating a sense of gratitude on both ends. You can also make the process an easier one for your new foster parents by keeping the paperwork to a minimum. To be sure, there will be many, many forms for your prospective foster parents to fill out and to sign. When possible, try to consolidate as much as possible and keep your paperwork as simple and as easy to complete. Have this paperwork ready and available at the very first meeting so your new foster parents can take it home with them and bring it back the next meeting. Again, cutting down on the waiting time. In addition, request that your new prospective foster parents arrange doctor's appointments as soon as they can, as well as seek out the references they need. This will help in speeding up the licensing process. Remind them that this will help quicken the pace, as your agency will not be able to place a child in their home until these steps are completed. So many times I hear from new foster parents, Dr. John, I have taken all the training hours, but why is there not a child in my home? And I ask them questions such as this: Have you completed all the paperwork? Have you been fingerprinted, drug tested, etc.? And so many times they come back to me and say, no, we have not. So if you can, request that they do this paperwork and these doctor's appointments and the fingerprinting as soon as possible. Get it out of the way so there's no wait on that. As we noted in previous webinars, first impressions are also so very important. So let's re-examine what we talked about earlier as a reminder of how to host your training sessions. When you host your pre-service and training sessions, try to hold them in a warm, comfortable, welcoming environment. Make name tags for each new foster parent as well as for your staff and attendants. Greet each person as she or he enters with a smile and by name, thanking them for attending. Your agency and staff need to show the excitement they have about the event, as your excitement is often one that is contagious for others. As we talked about earlier, have light entrees, cookies, cakes, snacks, hot chocolate, coffee, sodas, water available. Most importantly, your training sessions need to be in a risk-free atmosphere, as we talked about in previous webinars, an environment that is safe for all. So model the act of being courteous to all who are in attendance. In no way should your agency and your staff ridicule or belittle anyone for their answers and responses. If a prospective foster parent should offend someone in another fashion, quickly remind everybody in attendance this is not permissible. Finally, as we talked about earlier, as we reviewed today, the meeting and sessions come to an end with enthusiasm and a smile. Personally, thank each person for taking the time to attend and be part of this session. Let them know that they helped to make a session a success and that you look forward to seeing them again. Inform each person that they can reach out to you and your agency if they have any questions in the next few days leading up to the next training session. So, those are the reminders. Try to ensure your seating is comfortable as possible. No one likes to be uncomfortable during a meeting of any kind. Once your prospective new foster parents get settled, introduce each member in attendance and thank them for coming. Afterwards, consider having a brief introductory video about your agency or foster parenting in general. Ask each one to introduce and tell a little bit about why they came or what they might be looking for. It is easy to imagine that many of your new foster parents will be a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious. After all, this is a big, big step for them, a huge commitment for them, and there's a great deal of unknown for them. You will need to ease their anxieties and ease their concerns. And one of the ways you can do that is through games and through laughter. Try to have some type of icebreaker, an activity that encourages conversation. Now, as you may know, there are many types of icebreakers you can engage your new foster parents with, and a quick search online will yield you many suggestions. But some suggestions for icebreakers at your initial new foster parent training sessions might include the following. Have your foster parents write down 3 things they wonder about foster parenting, and afterward, have each foster parent share these with others in a group discussion. Another icebreaker might be to have your foster parents write down 3 things they believe are true about foster parenting, and afterwards, again, have them share these with others in a group discussion. This one could be a little bit funny, because that's where you might be getting into those myths and misconceptions. One icebreaker might be to ask everyone to gather on one side of the room and stand up in a line and face towards the center. Let your foster parents know that you will call out certain categories, descriptions, etc. When you do, ask that all of those to whom the category or description applies to walk to the other side of the line. Start your questions off rather easy, so your foster parents feel comfortable with the game, and then proceed to some more thought-evoking questions. Here are some examples you might include for this. Anyone who has visited another country. Anyone who is female. Anyone who is male. Anyone who prefers day to night. Anyone who has never flown. Anyone who is adopted. Anyone who has children. Anyone who has lots of questions about foster care. Anyone who knows somebody that was in foster care. Anyone who is a little nervous about being a foster parent. Again, as the game continues, you can ask questions that are more introspective about foster care and foster parenting. Your questions are designed to provoke thought about foster care for your prospective new foster parents. One popular icebreaker is the vocabulary time. You begin by thinking of a word and then give the first letter. The word should be something related to foster parenting and foster care. Words might include such things as reunification, visitation, court visit, birth parents, trauma, anxiety, placement, caseworkers, and so on. Try to include words that specifically are for foster parenting. After you give the first word, those in attendance try to guess the word that you have in mind. If they're unable to do so in 1 minute's time, add the second letter to the word. And then give them a minute to figure out the word. If they can't do that in a second minute, add the third letter, and so on. What you want to do is offer a variety of training methods during your sessions, including role-playing opportunities, occasions for questions and answers, and other participation activities. A variety of methods not only allow for different ways of learning, but also in preventing learning fatigue. No one wants to sit in a meeting where they're being lectured to or talked at for 3 or 4 hours on end, because they are going to experience learning fatigue. In other words, they're going to get just simply tired of listening to somebody speak. Now, your prospective foster parents are sure to have lots of questions, a lot of them. They're curious about foster parenting, and they want to learn more about what they might be signing up to do, so to speak. Along with this, there is a good likelihood that they have heard some of those myths and misconceptions that so many in the general public, including their friends and families, and maybe they believe. So it is important that you are prepared for their questions and you answer them in a polite and positive fashion, and of course, with a smile. Thank them for asking the question as well. Keep in mind that your role is to listen, to support, and to teach your new foster parents as you help to empower them to care for children in crisis in their homes for a 24-hour period, 7 days a week. Now, some common questions new and prospective foster parents often ask include, what are the requirements for being a foster parent? Can I work outside the home in a full-time job and still be a foster parent? Can my foster infant or baby go to daycare during the day while I work? How much are foster parents paid or reimbursed? And how does that reimbursement work? How old are the children who need foster parents? How long do children stay in foster care or in foster homes? Do children in foster care have emotional or behavioral problems? Again, these are some of the questions foster parents often ask when they are getting trained to become new foster parents. Are the birth parents able to contact their child when they're living at my home? Do the birth parents come to visit their child at my home as a foster parent? Are foster parents able to adopt a child that has been living with them? What will happen if the child in my home threatens me or a member of my family? What kind of support will I receive as a foster parent from the agency and from a caseworker? How long will this training period last? And finally, when will I get my first placement in my home and with my family? That's one I hear often at the Foster Care Institute. I'm always getting requests from new foster parents saying, Dr. John, when will a child be placed in my home? Again, these are questions that you will most likely have asked to you when you begin your new foster parent training sessions. So be prepared for these questions and have an answer ready for them. Now, as we have seen in previous webinars, your best recruiters and motivators will be those foster parents that currently are partnering with your agency. Let's look at what we talked about earlier. If possible, try to arrange a foster parent that is currently working with your agency to deliver a short testimony of sorts, talking about why they enjoy caring for children from foster care in their home. A personal testimony from a foster parent in your community during this first meeting is often a powerful recruiting tool. Now, to be sure, involvement with your current or former and past foster parents is critical, a critical piece when you're training new foster parents. There is a likelihood that some of your foster parents who begin your new foster parent training sessions may not make it all the way through the entire training sessions and may drop off for a variety of reasons. One way to help prevent this is by having a foster parent mentor program. Have your new and prospective foster parents team up or partner with one of your current foster parents. Those foster parents act as a mentor and help to increase the quality of your recruitment program. Now, mentors can not only share their own insight and personal experiences with your prospective new foster parent, they also help your prospective new foster parent to understand how the process of foster parenting truly works. Mentor foster parents also help your prospective new foster parents by answering any questions they may have during the training session and give encouragement to them throughout the sessions. Now, your prospective new foster parents will be helped by being partnered with their mentor foster parent, not only through the new foster parent training session, but for several months afterwards. Some foster care agencies partner the two families for a period of 12 months. This allows your prospective new foster parent to truly gain support, help, and insight from the experienced mentor, from the veteran foster parent. In addition, a foster parent mentor program also helps with retention, of retaining your foster parents, as this type of support system is one that foster parents truly crave and desire while caring for children in crisis in their homes. Keep in mind this: no one truly understands a foster parent like another foster parent. Considering partnering your mentor foster parents with your prospective new foster parents based upon similarities the two sets of parents might have, as well as distance and locations to each other. Mentors can meet with your prospective new foster parents on a regular basis, keep in contact via email, and be available via phone. Your prospective new foster parents will greatly benefit from their mentors as they will be provided additional first-hand knowledge that they will only find from an experienced foster parent when not only preparing for their first placement of a child in their home, but also as someone to call upon for advice when challenges arise while caring for a child in foster care living with their family. Advice they can't get from the caseworker. So, how you choose your mentors for your prospective new foster parent is an important process. It is imperative, indeed essential, that your mentors are positive in their approach and only offer encouragement. You do not want mentors who are burned out or negative or cynical of the foster care system. This is only going to turn away your prospective new foster parents. Mentors need to be committed to partnering with their new foster parent or mentee for the duration of the training session or whichever time frame you decide upon. In addition, mentor foster parents need to have strong communication skills as well as interpersonal skills. Mentors should be easy to get along with and eager to help. Strong mentors are those that are somewhat flexible with their time and willing to take time to converse on the phone with their mentees and meet in person on a regular basis. Access to emails also desirable for your prospective new foster parents can reach out to their mentors who are when needed and necessary. Finally, ask your agency's caseworkers and fellow employees if they would nominate or recommend current foster parents for your mentor program. Now, one thing to keep in mind is this added bonus of mentor foster parents. Your mentors become invested in partnering with you and your agency as part of your mentor program. They feel a part of your agency and may become active themselves in recruiting new foster parents. A win-win, if you will. Now, throughout your new foster parent training sessions, consider utilizing both your mentors and other current and former foster parents in panel discussions. Your prospective new foster parents will not only benefit from panel discussions, but they just also might be entertained by them as well, as current foster parents share their own personal experiences on particular topics. Some panel discussion topics might include some of the following: burnout and stress for foster parents, which is perhaps my most popular and requested training session that I conduct across the nation and globe. How to prepare for a placement, working with biological and birth family members, what happens when a child leaves a foster home, children from foster care and your own biological children. What does it mean to be trauma informed? And finally, children in foster care and school. However, your agency decides upon formatting the amount of time, hours, and the number of days of training for your prospective new foster parents, your curriculum, or topics of training, is important and should be the focus of your sessions. Equipping your new foster parents is critical for not only the child and the foster parent, but for the birth parents, caseworkers, and all involved. So, some of the topics you might wish to consider for your curriculum and your topics include this: trauma and trauma informed parenting, child development, preparing for your new placements, normalcy in parenting, fostering and your own children, being a culturally aware foster parent, understanding behavior, and conflict resolution. Hey, we all like to feel appreciated. We all like to feel that our hard work is paid off in some way. Your new foster parents feel the same way. They have undergone several hours and weeks, or perhaps months, of training. They have been fingerprinted, had their house inspection, been to the doctors for checkups, and so much more. Now they are ready to have a child placed in their home and with their family. It is a time to celebrate their success. It is a time to bring attention to your new foster parents and all the hard work that they have undertaken. Do not take this lightly, this process of celebration and recognition, as it is important in so many ways. Not only is it a sign of gratitude for your new licensed foster parents for all the hard work that they have done, it also helps with retention, as well as recruitment of future foster parents. To be sure, this type of celebration and attention will only reinforce to those who are considering becoming foster parents and encourage them to partner with your agency as a foster family. One way you can recognize and celebrate your new foster parents is by simply sending out thank you cards to all of your new foster parents. But you know what? A more grandiose way is by holding a press conference. Invite the mayor, the town leaders, local and state legislators, and even the governor to attend the event. Who knows? Governor might come. At your press conference, have a signing of proclamation by the governor, the mayor, whoever it might be, recognizing the services provided by your new foster parents. Go all out. Invite your local TV, radio, and newspaper media to attend and cover this event. Take many pictures for your own social media sites, newsletters, and website. Finally, send a framed copy of the proclamation to all of your new foster parents. Not only are you celebrating your new foster parents, this is also a way to recruit new foster parents because you are getting good media coverage. There are pictures out there of your new foster parents, which might encourage others to become foster parents. It might be on the news, the TV, the radio, the newspaper, again, encouraging new foster parents. When others see the mayor or the town leaders or maybe even the governor, state legislators, recognizing new foster parents, it might encourage others to do so as well. So see this as a recruitment tool as well. One of the things that I do across the nation is speak at or keynote at foster parent appreciation events. I love them. Many agencies across the U.S. host a foster parent appreciation banquet or event of some kind. These banquets often include guest speakers, prizes and giveaways, many times from local businesses, and a fancy dining. Now, perhaps your agency does not wish to cover the cost of hosting a foster parent appreciation banquet each time you complete a new foster parent training session. Yet you might wish to host considering an event like this once a year, both for new and current foster parents. Without a doubt, these events are most helpful with issues of retention for your veteran foster parents, as well as recognizing your new foster parents and helping to make them feel welcomed and appreciated. And when they feel appreciated, they're going to let their friends know, and their friends may become new foster parents as well. Again, this is a recruitment tool. Gift cards and gift baskets are a great way to celebrate your new foster parents. Approach your local businesses and ask if they would donate some of their gift cards, goods, and items of gifts as gifts of appreciation to local foster parents in their community. Fill up some baskets with these donated cards and items and present them to your new foster parents at the last training session. Gift items may include free pizza for delivery, movie tickets, tickets to a local spa, local zoo, or museum tickets, free meals at a restaurant, an Amazon gift card, $20 worth of gas and petrol, tickets to a local sporting event, and so on. For these businesses, this is not only a good opportunity to give back to their customers and community, but also for some publicity as well. One of the ways you recruit new foster parents is by treating your current and new foster parents like gold. You must celebrate them, you must thank them, you must support them. Because when you do this, not only are you holding up your retention rate and retaining those good foster parents that you want to retain, again, they're going out and letting others know how much they love foster parenting with your agency. And they're going to recruit foster parents for you. For so much more, visit the Foster Care Institute at Dr. John DeGarmo at fostercare.com. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter if you don't do so already. Lots of great resources, information, videos, insightful articles, pictures, inspirational quotes on there for you. And of course, you may always email me anytime at drjohndegarmo@gmail.com. And here's a great book for all foster parents. In fact, I often sign hundreds of copies of this book and send these out to foster parent appreciation banquets and events. This might be one you want to have at your own event as well. It's a book for foster parents to read to children who are placed in their home. A Different Home, a New Foster Child Story. It's a book designed for children in foster care to have read to them by foster parents. Great book. Love it. And of course, there are so many books available at the Foster Care Institute for you as well. Hey, thank you for taking part in this webinar series. Thank you for all that your agency does. Thank you for all that you do. I know your job is not easy. You have a challenging job. A job where you are underpaid and under-resourced. A job where you give so much of your own time. A job that so many times you sacrifice hours with your own family and friends. A job where you're not paid enough. A job where sometimes people are upset with you. But it is a job that I admire greatly. I am so grateful for what you do to help foster parents, to help children in crisis, to help families who are suffering. So from the Foster Care Institute, I say thank you for what you are doing for families across the world. I'm Dr. John DeGarmo.